everyone, welcome back for day 3 of our article on the fir tree. I'm Kat.
And I'm Elsie.
And today we're already done with the story of the fir tree, but we're talking more about its themes. We're going to talk a little more about the author, Hans Christian Andersen. And so we're going to get into kind of the background of this story of the fir tree. So yeah, it was basically a story about a tree that didn't really appreciate its life until the very end.
And I think what the sunlight told the tree,
rejoice in your youth.
Yeah, is something that we need to take a look at.
Yeah, exactly.
To talk about.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things to consider in this story. It's actually sort of a fable, which is like a story with a message about values in life, about the way to live. So we're going to look at that a little bit more and talk about what it means. Let's take a look.
Reading.
The Fir Tree. There are several morals in Hans Christian Andersen's short story, The Fir Tree. The young tree is not satisfied with its life in the forest and is eager to grow up. Feeling impatient to become an adult is an experience many children share. The fir tree has a naive and optimistic view of being cut down for humans' use. It doesn't understand that it will die because it has been cut down. So, young people should enjoy the pleasures of their youth for as long as possible. They will need to deal with the painful reality of being adults soon enough. The story also shows that we often do not appreciate the good things in our lives. We usually take them for granted until they're suddenly gone. Once it is taken from the forest, the fir tree experiences sorrow and regret. It realizes how happy and peaceful its life among friends in the forest was. This is a lesson for us to count the blessings in our lives.
We start out today by saying there are several morals in Hans Christian Andersen's short story, The Fir Tree. So a moral can mean like trying to be a good person, but a moral in a story is a lesson that is learned from it, or a lesson that's learned from an experience that you have. Basically, you would say, the moral of the story is don't do this thing, do this thing, live this way, don't live this way. So for an example, you could say, the moral of this story is that man shouldn't try to control nature.
Moral 代表就是寓意，好，所以我们可以用这样的句子带出来。The moral of the story is blah blah blah。那像是呢 ，The moral of Little Red Riding Hood is
don't trust strangers?
Yeah, or don't talk to strangers.
I guess.
不要跟陌生人讲话之类的哈。
Yeah.
那我们说到这个作者安徒生 Hans Christian Andersen， 他有很多的著作，像是The Ugly Duckling.
Oh, I love that story.
The Little Mermaid. What else?
The Emperor's New Clothes.
很多很多的
That one's quite funny.
小美人鱼
Yeah, so he's got some darker tales, he's got some lighter tales, like The Ugly Duckling ends happily, The Emperor's New Clothes ends in a funny way. The Little Mermaid actually has a sad ending, except for if you're looking at the Disney version.
对，不是迪士尼版本的是一个 sad ending, not happy ending.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's continue with the article.
So what are the morals in this story? The young tree is not satisfied with its life in the forest and is eager to grow up. I mean, you think about any child. Don't they all want to grow up? Doesn't everybody want to grow up because you think that being an adult is better than being a kid? Well, maybe for some kids it's not. But the young fir tree is eager to grow up. Let's learn what eager means. So when you feel eager, it means you're very keen to do something, or you're really feeling enthusiastic or excited about something that will happen. So if you're eager to grow up, it means you really, really, really want to grow up, or you're really excited for the time when you do grow up. Or if you're really eager to, I don't know, go to school tomorrow, maybe you have something happening there that's really exciting to you. You're feeling like, oh boy, I can't wait. I really, really want to go. You know, you're feeling excited. So for an example, you could say, when I was a child, I was eager to grow up. but now I wish I could be a child again. Not really, but I mean, at least, a lot of people feel this way.
Eager 是个形容词代表热切的、渴望的。Be eager to do something 那就是渴望去做某件事情。
So feeling impatient to become an adult is an experience many children share. That's true. So when you are impatient, it means you are not patient. You have this prefix im, which is also the same thing as in, which is not.
我们看到的 prefix 字首 I am 表示的是不、无或是未，好，都是否定的。那可以用于 be, am 或是 p 开头的名词啦、形容词或是副词之前。像是 patient 这个形容词是有耐心的，它是字首 p 开头的，那我们就在前面加上 I am impatient， 那就是无耐心的这个形容词。那同类的还有像是 polite 礼貌的，相反 impolite 那就是没有礼貌的。possible 可能的，相反 impossible 不可能的。Okay, so Kat, did you feel impatient and want to be an adult right away when you were a kid?
Not necessarily. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I think I just wanted to do things that were interesting to me. So maybe if being an adult could help me do interesting things, then maybe I would want to be an adult. But anyway, the fir tree has a naive and optimistic view of being cut down for humans' use. That's very true. He is very naive. Now, naive is one of these funny words. It looks like knave, but it's naive. It's actually the only word in English where the I can have 2 dots over it because it is its own syllable, naive. So having or showing a lack of experience or knowledge, it means you don't have a lot of experience or knowledge. You're kind of innocent. You're kind of looking at the world through eyes that don't really understand it yet, and you're assuming that everything is kind of, going to be the way you expect it.
Naive 这个形容词是天真的、幼稚的。So if somebody say that, oh, Kat is naive, is that a compliment or not?
No.
No, right?
It's not a compliment.
Right.
I don't think I'm naive. I think I'm world weary. That's kind of the opposite of naive.
Okay, 再来还有一个字是 optimistic. What does it mean?
Optimistic is more of a compliment kind of word. It can be. So optimistic means you kind of look at the world in a way like things are going to go well. You have or show hope for the future. You expect good things to happen, or you expect that even if bad things are happening now, it will turn around again and things will get better. So yeah, the fir tree thinks like being cut down is a good thing. It feels optimistic about it. It thinks like, oh, my life will be so much better once I'm cut down, once I'm being used by humans. So for an example sentence, you could say, Nick feels optimistic about his chances of getting into a good university.
Optimistic 这形容词代表乐观的。Be optimistic about something 那就是对某事感到乐观。相反字悲观的是 pessimistic. So would you say you are a pessimistic person or an optimistic person?
I think I'm an optimist realist. So I look at the world in a real way, but I want to see the good side of it.
True.
Yeah.
Me too.
So, yeah.
Hope so.
Exactly. So, I mean, being a pessimist can be helpful sometimes because it means you're not disappointed when things go wrong, but sometimes it can make you just feel bad. Yeah. So the tree is very optimistic. It doesn't understand that it will die because it has been cut down.
葱树呢，它不晓得被砍掉之后是会死的。
So young people should enjoy the pleasures of their youth for as long as possible. That's true. I mean, young people always want to grow up sooner. They always want to, get older and become adults sooner, but your young life is some of the best years of your life. You have more energy. You have more opportunities. Yeah.
And how old are young people?
It depends on who you ask. I mean, 0 to 30?
30 only?
I don't know. Or 35. I mean, I'm almost 35. I still feel young, but who knows? It depends on how you feel. Like, you can be a child as long as you live if you just, keep a mindset where you rejoice in your life.
所以年轻人呢，应该要尽可能享受年轻时候的快乐。For as long as possible， 那就是享受的时间能多久就多久。
So, yeah, being a child is great because, you have people to take care of you. You have people to teach you. Basically all your needs are met and you don't have to do all the work for that.
You don't have to worry a lot of things.
Yeah. So children will need to deal with the painful reality of being adults soon enough. Soon enough means soon, but it's sort of said to people who are impatient for something to happen. Like if somebody's like, I wanted this to happen, you say, don't worry, you'll understand soon enough. It'll happen soon enough. So basically, just be patient.
所以代表很快的某件事就会发生。所以呢，很快的他们就需要应付当大人们的苦痛现实。所以说，你们要尽可能的享受还是年轻的时光。
The story also shows that we often do not appreciate the good things in our lives. That's very true. I think about this a lot. So we're talking about appreciating the good things in our lives. I think before we talk about that, we should learn what the word appreciate is. When you appreciate something, basically, in one meaning, you're grateful for it. In another meaning, it means you understand how important it is. You admire it. You value it. You understand its worth, and you understand that it has something about it that makes it good or makes it important. So if you appreciate the good things in your life, maybe, every day you look around and you say like, I have my pets. I appreciate that they are there. I have a good house that I live in. I appreciate that. I have good food to eat. I can take the bus and train anywhere I go. These are all things that you can appreciate about your life. Anything that is good that helps you live your life in a peaceful way, you can appreciate and you can be grateful for. So an example, you could say, while on vacation in the US, I took some time to appreciate the country's natural beauty. That's true. The US has a lot of beautiful natural places.
Appreciate 这个动词呢，可以代表是对点点点表示感激、领会或是欣赏，好，也可以是它的意思。那再给同学们一个例句咯。We really appreciate that you came all the way here to help us.
Thank you.
我们很感激你大老远的跑过来帮助我们。好，那在这个例句当中 ，appreciate 它就是当作感激来解释。
Yeah, so people don't often appreciate the things in their lives. We usually take them for granted until they're suddenly gone. Yeah, there's a song, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. It's a song. It's a very good song. But anyway, you don't know what you have till it's gone. You take it for granted. And when you take something for granted, it means you fail to appreciate it. You see, it's a usual part of life. It'll just always be there. It's just there. I don't have to think about it. It's just, whatever.
所以呢，我们的时候呢，会 take what we have for granted，也就是将我们拥有的视为理所当然，那就是不行的。好，所以呢 take something or take somebody for granted， 那就是将某事或将某人视为理所当然。
So, for an example, you could say, Ethan's mom told him that he couldn't take what he had for granted.
Ethan 妈妈告诉他说，不能将他拥有的视为理所当然。
Especially don't take your friends for granted or your family for granted because they will feel like you don't care about them. Yeah. So, once it is taken from the forest, the fir tree experiences sorrow and regret. So sorrow and regret, not great feelings to have at the end of your life. Sorrow is a feeling of sadness. It's where the word sorry comes from, or grief, which is like a feeling of loss. And it's especially caused by, losing somebody or something. So when you lose, the sun and the flowers and everything that you had before, you feel great sorrow and you feel very sad. So, for an example, you could say the whole family was filled with sorrow at the loss of their dog.
Sorrow 是个名词，代表悲伤、悲痛。Be filled with sorrow， 那就是充满悲伤的这个情绪。那 sadness， 它也是悲伤的名词。
And the other feeling here is regret. It's related to sorrow because it's a feeling of sadness or disappointment about something you didn't do. Or that you did do, that maybe you hurt somebody. So if you didn't do something when you were younger and you wish you had done it, and you feel like, I wasted that time in my life, I feel so much regret. I feel regretful. So yeah, you could feel regret if you don't do things that you want to do. Or you could feel regret if you do things that hurt yourself or hurt others. So for an example, you could say, Gregory doesn't regret leaving his hometown, but sometimes he misses the people there.
Regret 这个名词啊，代表的是懊悔、遗憾。好，在课文里面当然是名词，那它当然可以做动词使用，后面要加上的是 VING， 代表你后悔做出的事情。今天的 Language in Focus 我们要看到的是 once 的用法。那 once 这个字啊，它可以当作连接词或是副词来使用哦，可是意思和用法都不一样。第一个，做连接词的时候啊 once 它表示的是一旦或者是一点点点就点点点，它可以放在句中或者是句首也行。For example, you need to wash your hands once you get home. 你一到家就要洗手。那再来第二个，如果把它当作副词用的话，它表示的是曾经。那这个时候啊 once 它常在主要动词附近，好去修饰它。像是呢 I once had a pet dog, but he died about a year ago. 代表我以前呢养过一只狗，但是它大约在1年前去世了。第三个once 当作副词的时候还可以代表的是一次，那常常跟 once a 或者是 once every 来搭配，表示某事发生的频率。像是呢 I do exercise once a week， 代表我每个礼拜运动一次。
So the fir tree only realizes at the end of its life, well, it feels sorrow and regret. And it realizes how happy and peaceful its life among friends in the forest was.
那这棵树呢，它了解到原来之前在森林中和朋友一起的时光有多么的开心。
Yeah, you know, sometimes you look back at those times when you were with your friends and you're like, oh, I miss my friends, I miss that time. This is a lesson for us to count the blessings in our lives. When you count your blessings, this is a saying to be grateful for the things you have, appreciate what's good in your life while it's still there, while you still have it.
Count one's blessings, 那就是某人要知足。Be satisfied with what you have, right? However, don't take it for granted or take your family or your friends for granted.
Exactly. And I think a good way to actually count your blessings, I try to do this every day, is when you get up in the morning or when you go to sleep at night, anytime you feel like you have time, stop and count 3 things you are grateful for in your life. So like I could say, I'm grateful for the chance to film with you. I'm grateful for the lunch I'm going to get later. I'm grateful for my...
Seeing cat today.
Aw, I'm grateful for my cats who were a little noisy last night, but you know what? It's fine.
So be grateful for something or somebody. 那就对某事某人表达感激。
Yeah, exactly. So you can do this very easily and it will actually really help to make you appreciate your life. So that's all we have for the fir tree and we hope you've learned something from it. That means we're about to go to our For You chat.
For You chat.
All right, our chat question today is, will you change the way you live your life after reading this story? Why or why not?
I think I will.
Oh.
I think I need to stop and smell the roses sometimes.
Oh, yeah, you know, appreciate the beauty in the world.
That's
appreciate the things around you. I mean, I'm always trying to appreciate what I have and think about these things. So, will I change the way I live my life? Not from that. Because I feel like I try to live that way already. But maybe I'll try and do more of that. Let's say that.
Yeah, and like you said, in the end of the story, we all should be grateful for what we have.
Yeah, even the small things, big things, anything. Yeah, because you only have one life, you don't want to waste it. So for English for You, I'm Kat.
I'm Elsie.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review. Moral. The moral of the movie is that you shouldn't lie to the people you love. Eager. After several months of working without stopping, I am eager for a vacation. Optimistic. Although we're going to India during the rainy season, I'm optimistic. I know we'll have fun no matter what. Appreciate. Julia appreciated the help and support her friends gave her when she lost her job. Sorrow. Larry felt great sorrow for many months after his best friend died. Regret. I feel regret that I didn't visit the Van Gogh Museum when I was in the Netherlands, but I just didn't have time.
智慧小补帖
Naive. Take something or somebody for granted. Count one's blessings.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作。活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net